based on everything you've just said, you have actually, with Look North World, taken that UGC approach, right? You're working in UEFN, you're building out islands. This is a big shift for you. You were giving me a description, and it was kind of funny because you said, I never wanted a real job, and then you're talking about how you worked at Disney and Microsoft and like all these places. But starting at Bungie and doing a lot of startups and game startups especially. So you've shifted now, and you're now like, I'm in on this UGC thing. What drove you to do that shift? Because of all the people out there that could probably secure funding in almost any market, you got to be high on that list, right? Like, there's not many founders of Bungie out in the world. So, like, you shifted, you took a different approach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a general sense, I will tell you a lot of what we're talking about in terms of like, where the industry is headed and the challenges, et cetera, that's a big part of it. I'll tell you very personally though, right before starting this company, I left Electronic Arts, and it wasn't like, oh, hey guys, I'm going to leave and go do this other thing. It was, hey, Alex, sorry, but we're going to shut the studio down and we're no longer doing your project anymore. Oh, and by the way, could you fire all your team on your way out the door? So that experience was, I got to EA to go, I went there to go make one very specific game, which was a big project that we worked on for many years. And EA is a fantastic company. I don't have beef with the decision they made. They made the right call, probably. But in any case, like, I spent many years working on a game with a big team and spent a lot of money, and the game didn't come out. It was sort of the, like, if you talk about like what your experience could be like in the game industry, you can have a big hit that sells tens of millions of copies. And I've been fortunate to have that, but it's super rare, But you can also have an experience where, the game doesn't work out, it doesn't come out or it fails. And I didn't want to do that again. And I looked at it and I said, I think this is going to be even harder, going forward. Like, why would anybody want to be in that part of, unless you own a platform or you're in the business of managing billion-dollar franchises, why would you want to be in that part of the market where it's just so, like, you have to manage defensively towards not losing that big of a nut, Like, for me personally, I came out of that experience going, I really would like to get back to like original IP, doing something new, building. And when I say building, I mean like not pattern matching, but like trying to find new patterns. And that at UEFN was just very attractive for that reason, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine at Epic right at that GDC where it was announced, and I didn't really have a plan other than me and a few of my teammates wanted to make and ship a game. And that introduction to UEFN sort of kind of led to the realization that the players are behaving differently today than they were, before the pandemic. We probably said it already. I don't know. Fortnite is 8 years old.
Yeah.
How old is League? How old is
2009? Yeah.
Is CS:GO? It's like,
yep, 25. Counter-Strike, 25 years.
Would it say something like 70% of playtime, 60-70% of playtime is in games 7 years old or older, and
yep.
Yeah. So, these games are going to, if they're smart, they're going to platformatize. And therein is a big opportunity. So yeah, that's why. That's the why. It's a combination of just my personal desire to be in an environment that supports creative development, but also in an environment that's kind of new, that is kind of ripe for creating new kinds of patterns, and offers like a nice, unique business model, where we could grow something and be unique and make games that clearly a lot of people are there they want to play.
I'm struck by your lack of bitterness. Again, the optimism, the lesson you took away. I really think that I mean that very, very, very positively. I think it'd be very easy, and it's interesting too, where you have a lot of empathy, even as you were describing that, for all sides. I think having been on having been on the business side and on the developer side, and seeing both sides of that coin over a very long period of time, I appreciate that perspective. And again, where could I go to do this? And look, it does exist. And isn't that a great thing? And, I don't know. It struck me as you were talking. I very much appreciate that story.
Right on. I mean, life is, I don't know. I think entrepreneurs in general have to be optimists. Otherwise, why would you ever get out of bed in the morning? It's like, it's nothing's easy and no excuses. You just got to go out and do the thing. Go and do the thing.
Yeah.